Hi guys. Right, okay, so today I'm going to continue a few funny stories about my childhood in terms of my autism. So as you got to remember, my autism, I was a late bloomer, so my autism wasn't diagnosed until I was 26. I think I was 26 and I'm 30 now. People kind of just thought that I was just a bit of a strange wee laddie, but I was just quirky, that was me. I wasn't good with new things. I take time to get adapted to things, which is kind of a lot of people with autism struggle with, is having to adapt to new things and change in routine. So change in routine for me, for example, was getting the bus to school on my own for the first time. So it doesn't matter how many times I could see something. The first time I've got to do it on my own is always gonna, something's gonna go wrong, right? This is quite funny looking back, and actually I told this story to a colleague of mine. We were at a conference and I told him the story on the train back, and he was actually in tears. He was like actually sobbing at the story. Right, so I used to get the bus to school with my mum every single morning. Can't be left to your own devices, especially me. Right, so me and my mum used to get the bus, and she'd drop me off, and she'd wait for me to get on the bus to take me to school. So the day comes when she's like, Paul, you're going to have to get this bus on your own, okay? We've done all our practice runs, you know what you need to do, you've got the right money, you know how much that is. So she used to go, right, here's the money for that bus, here's the money for that bus, in one pocket, in another pocket. So the day comes, right, and I'm nervous, I'm so anxious about this. I've not been sleeping all night thinking about this bus, and I'm pretty sure it was a number 36, right? I'm pretty sure it was number 36. I'm pretty sure it was 36 City Centre, if I remember right. So the day comes, and I've been prepared all morning. I've tried to fucking probably do a sickie because I didn't want to go in. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, right, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, City Centre, City Centre, City Centre, City Centre. The way that obviously buses work is if it's going one way, it'll say one thing, and if it's going the other way, it'll say another thing. So this bus would say 36 City Centre if it was going into the town, and it'd say 36 Millowmains or FINTRY. I think it was FINTRY it used to say. And obviously I'm there 15 minutes early. For anybody that knows me, I'm late for everything, right? So me being early, this shows my anxiety in this, right? So I'm sitting at the bus stop, right? And I'm sitting there in front of the queue as well, right? Front of the queue, fucking nobody there. Fucking me on my own, made it worse. Couldn't even ask anybody. Buses go past, bus goes past, bus goes past, bus goes past. Me overthinking, which is what people with autism do. I start going, oh, is it 25-2? It comes, is it 25-2? Is it 25-2? Buses come, oh, should have got on this bus. No, 36, 36, 36. Oh, right, okay. Is the bus coming? Oh, should have got on that bus. No, Paul, 25-2, 36. I'm playing it over in my head, So it comes, right? 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Always comes at 25-2. You got to remember, people with autism are literal. We are so literal. If you say to me something, I'm going to take it as that black and white. This morning the bus was early, right? The bus was 2 minutes early, and I'm prepared. I've got my 45p. That's how much it was. 45p in my hand, and all of a sudden, right, this bus comes, and I'm like, alright, okay. Same as all the rest of the buses. Start jingling, change in my hand. I'm jingling, I'm shaking like somebody that's not had their meth for 3 days. I've got the shakes, my shoulders are going, and then I'm like 36. So I'm like, I'm like 36, but it comes at 25-2, 36. Now the problem this specific day, right, was the bus driver hadn't changed the FINTRY to City Centre. In my head, I should have just went, it's 36, the driver just hasn't swapped the FINTRY around to City Centre. Now, it's like the bus is coming in slow motion, right? So it's coming, and and I'm thinking, but it says FINTRY, it's 36, but it says FINTRY, but it's 36, but it says FINTRY, but it says, and the bus is coming, bus stops, bus opens the door, and I shut it. I didn't even go in the bus. Fucking doors opened, fucking the bus went past us, and I was sat there. Fuck. So I'd overthought it that much that the bus stopped, fucking went past us, and I didn't have any way to get into school. So logically, you'd go, right, what do you do in this situation? You're going to have to go home. You're just going to have to go home. There was no phones at that time. I didn't have any mobile phones, right? Didn't have that. Me being me, and this is the thing, fight, flight. People with autism fight or flight. So what did Paul do? Paul just got on the next bus that came. Didn't matter what it was. I just shat myself that much. I just seen the next bus coming. Jumped on it. 45p. Sat down. In shivers. Didn't know where I was going to go. This bus is driving. I'm thinking I'm going to end up in Zimbabwe or something. I'm going to end up in some country farm. Have to get off. Go to some random farmer's door. Trying to speak to the sheep to get directions. And luckily for me, that after the 36, right, if you missed the 36, another bus came and still took you to the town. So luckily for me, I'm sitting there, jingling, like shattering, thinking my life's going to crumble. And I'm going to have to, in my head, I'm already thinking like, Paul, what are you going to do? Where are you going to sleep tonight, Paul? Like, how am I going to eat? I'm thinking, like, I've got my notepad out. I'm doing to-do lists. Thinking about what shopping I'm going to buy with my remaining 30p for the bus to get us to school. So luckily I just go, this is going in the town. And then at the bus stops, its last stop, thankfully, was the town. I was in town, and I always remembered, I was like, right, I need to get the 22. And I've got another song that I wrote called Little Boy Across the Corner Shop. And that's a reference to my childhood, when it's like, he'll have a bath, take the 22. It may have been 5 miles short of school, but as his mother said, a walk would do you good. So that 22 is a reference. If you ever listen to that song, and you will sometime this year, that's a reference to that bus. So thankfully, I just stood there, because when we used to get that bus, the 22 used to have to wait like 10 minutes for it. So thankfully I got there, 22 was there, and my luck had just came in, because if I didn't get the 22, I just would have wondered about the town. Probably would have like asking homeless people how they live. Can I borrow your dog just to get us to school? But thankfully the 22 was there. I got on the bus. I got off at the right stop. I got into school. I just remember, I'm pretty sure I went home, told my mum, and I'm pretty sure that like my mum then had to do another 4 times with me. And it was quite difficult because my mum was always late because of me, because she couldn't leave us on my own. And I'm pretty sure for the next 4 times she had to then do it again. And after that, I was fine. But again, thing is with autism, if you experience it once, then normally. So Nick, if that ever happened again, I knew 36 FINTRY. I've went through that procedure. I've went through it before. I know that bus is still going to take me into town. But that again shows you the thinking process for young kids that have got autism. Even getting on a bus on your own for the very first time. Doesn't matter how many times you've done it, how many times you've been briefed. Doing it yourself, and one thing could throw you off, and that's me to a T. All I need is a little bit of doubt, and that could completely throw me off. So thankfully I did not end up in a farm. I did not end up homeless. I did not end up on my little adventure. I did not end up having to steal food from Aldi's to try and live. Didn't end up in a brothel. I ended up at school, and I ended up home at the end of the day, and I finally managed to get on buses on my own. Fucking hate buses. Didn't get started on buses. So that there is another story for my childhood, and that was me getting on a bus on my own in the first time. So if you do have a child with autism, just remember, be clear and go through every single scenario that might or not happen, so they know what to do when that happens. So thankfully I'm alright, and I'm still here. So like, subscribe as always, click the bell icon, look at the other videos, got lots of them coming, and I'll see you guys soon.